you about the weather first.
It's great.
Would you think that the weather would be 70-some degrees at the start of your wrestling season?
Well, we don't start until Friday, so we'll see how the weather is on Friday. But yeah, the weather's been it's been great. It's nice. It's almost too nice because then the bugs all come back to life. So you got to be ready.
Cael, you guys had a pretty successful offseason in terms of guys past and present on the international stage and things like that. So how do you just feel where your program is right now that you have all that stuff wrapped up, whether it was, again, guys past or present, and now you're focused on just getting ready for the season?
Yeah, I think you're always looking ahead, right? I mean, the past is you want to do your best in the time and then get ready for the next thing, right? So we're working year round, obviously, and we have kids competing and men and women in freestyle. But yeah, I think overall it's been a successful year. But of course we're looking ahead to what's coming up. You know, it's always the most important thing is the future.
Cael, just piggybacking off of this question, you know, David Taylor's done a lot in the community around here and has just continued to excel on the mat, even past his time at Penn State. I mean, what can you say about what he's given this program and what kind of legacy he's left here at this program doing and things that he's accomplished?
Yeah, I mean, David Taylor has been amazing from year one, right? Just the impact he's had on the program. I mean, he's been here as long as I have. Well, I think I beat him here by a couple months maybe, because he redshirted our first year, and then you know, the teams that he was a part of won the nationals. You know, the 4 years of his eligibility, and now he's a world, two-time world and Olympic champion. So he's just done amazing things. He and his wife they have businesses in the community, and they're doing a great job. So, but yeah, he's had a huge impact on our program. Great mind for the sport, and you know, coming off just an outstanding performance at the World Championships. So we're super happy for him, and glad he's still here.
Cael, I know it's early on in his career, but what have you seen from Levi Haynes in terms of his development so far?
Yeah, Levi Haynes is great. He's consistent, hardworking, coachable, all those things you look for in a student athlete. You know, he's a great student. Just don't worry too much about him, right? Which gives us more freedom to worry about other things, I guess. So, but yeah, outstanding kid, and should have a tremendous career.
Could you possibly apply the new eligibility rule to him? You know, see how he's doing early, or do you think he'll go?
It's hard to say right now. I think I mean, we're not going to throw anybody out there right away. I think you know, we have some options and some kids that have worked really hard, and you know, we'll patiently let things play out. But yeah, you know, 57 Terrell's had a great off season and has looked better than ever. So, but yeah, I think you know, it's a little tricky now where red shirts, true freshmen. I guess it's true freshmen, not necessarily in red shirts. They can't go to these open tournaments unless we're taking them. So you know, we have to figure out how we can get these guys matches. But yeah, I don't know how we'll play with those 5 dates. You know, that the true freshmen can wrestle. I think it gives you a little bit of obviously some depth, and should help in reducing forfeits, this and that kind of stuff. But how we'll use those, we probably won't know until the week of matches.
Are you pleased with your depth overall, would you say? And another question related to that, how has Will Betancourt looked so far?
Yeah, I think you always want more depth, and you know, you'll take as many good kids as you can find. But yeah, he's not on our roster, so he's not here. But yeah, I think if kids are working hard and they're ready to go, most of the time they get a chance to compete. You know, whether they're a starter or first or second or third. You know, third on the ladder, if you're ready to go, you generally get a shot, even if it's a weight above or something like that. So I think our guys have seen that the last few years, and hopefully they're all ready to go on just a few day notice.
The middle weights there, 49, 57, 65, those are pretty much you could say, open spots for what we know as the media covering a team.
Yeah.
What are you seeing in those 3 weight classes? What are some of the guys that are competing for those spots?
Well, I think there aren't really many surprises there. I think we had a round of inter squad wrestle off matches, and the guys look pretty darn good, I'd say. So yeah, we'll roll things out on Friday, but things are looking pretty solid, I'd say.
Cael, what about 125? What's that looking like this year?
Well, Howard will not be wrestling most likely this year, and I don't know if that's news or not, but yeah. So Gary Steen right now he's done a nice job, and he'll. So we have a few different guys that will be competing for that spot, but Gary Steen's done a nice job. He'll probably kick things off and hopefully get things rolling there.
We saw you guys last year, Cael, go into the transfer portal mid-season, and obviously that's something you can do in season and out of season. But how do you continue to evaluate and evolve the way you approach that? I think you've heard probably different coaches across campuses talk about their philosophy. What is yours when it comes to trying to mesh the idea of fixing needs versus obviously bringing somebody into your program?
Well, I think you just have to compete, really, right, and try to make good long-term decisions for your program. So, I don't know if there's any kind of a set philosophy or strategy that you would have. We're just like anybody doing anything. We're competing and trying to have a good time doing it. So, if opportunities present themselves, then we'll take a good look at them, just like anybody else would.
Cael, you've got a handful of guys that got an extra year from the NCAA during the COVID year. How has that affected how you recruit short-term and long-term?
Yeah, the extra COVID year it's been it's just challenging, I think, even for the kids, because they're all of a sudden they have to make a decision if they're going to wrestle again. Maybe they weren't thinking about that, but then the flip side is they wouldn't want to walk away from the sport when they have a chance to compete again. So it's not something like they wouldn't want to look back and regret something. So it kind of puts them in a tough spot. But yeah, I think more than anything, it's just communicating with them and trying to figure out what their plans are. And then, but it definitely does affect your recruiting, just because if somebody has 3 years of eligibility left, and we're hoping they use them, then that's you're looking at at what year down the line are we looking at as far as getting a recruit in here. And not a lot of kids want to come in thinking they're going to sit a year. Wrestling's unique in that you can come in and for the most part you can earn your spot. But yeah, it's just adds another layer that everybody's in the same boat. So we're doing the best we can.
Cael, I know that you have a few guys competing in the upcoming NWCA All-Star Classic.
Yep.
How did they get involved in that? Why is that something you guys wanted to be a part of, and what can fans look forward to?
Yeah, I think it was just something, Flow Wrestling got behind it, and I think they did a really nice job kind of making it interesting to the kids, the student athletes, and they got some great matchups. It was just something I think they secured it and kind of locked things down mid-summer. So some of our guys got invites, but it just didn't make sense to make a decision maybe that early. Some of them were just excited to do it. So really, from our standpoint, we just present opportunities to the student athletes, and if they want to participate, then we support them. If it's not something they want to do, then we support them there also. And that's kind of been our philosophy there, our strategy in the past as well. So, but yeah, it looks like it'll be a great event. I know 3 really exciting matches that our student athletes are excited about. So should be good.
Can you give us an idea of what the plan is for Roman this year? Is he going to be the whole year? Is he going to be?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's here. He's here and he's in school, and he's planning on wrestling. I think there'll be some matches if we can kind of sit him. We'll definitely be looking to do that. So I think it would be but yeah, it's right now I think the plan is just kind of wrestle a handful of matches. Yeah.
Your 4 champions, have you seen improvement from them this year? I mean, can they reach How many other levels can they get to?
Yeah, I think progress is, is the name of the game, and never being satisfied where you're at. It's not about necessarily winning. Again, it's just about making steps and climbing and improving, and you can improve in technique. Your mental approach, your just different. There's so many different ways and avenues you can improve. So to us, it's more about, hey, let's just keep getting better and improving. And I think each one of them I think are going to be better this year than they were last year. Yeah. So, but again, it's up to them. They're the ones that still have to go out there and let it rip when they compete and just be themselves. But yeah, I mean, they look really good.
Cael is listed at 141, at least on the website. How do you think his experience at 149 last year will kind of benefit him at a lighter weight class?
Well, I think the experience is great, and yeah, I mean, he's going 141. Do you say it's listed or isn't listed? Or?
OPSU it is.
Yeah. He's going 41, and that's a more natural weight for him. He had to kind of work hard to keep his weight up, and he's strong enough and just good enough that he was competitive there. I mean, he was right in the mix, but I think he feels a little bit more comfortable at 41. And that was just one of those COVID deals where on paper it made sense where he was going to redshirt. Nick Lee would graduate, and then he'd fill in at 41. But Nick Lee got another year, and so he was willing to kind of do that for the team and go in there and wrestle 49. But yeah, experience is great, and but with him, he's still just gotta, just like every one of the guys on our team, they just be themselves and go score points, and he'll do really well.
Regarding the new redshirt rule changes, have you seen that impact the mindset of any of the freshmen who maybe wouldn't think they'd get in right away previously, or just have you seen that change their mindset at all?
I can't really say. We have a fairly small class. We just had three student athletes come in, but they know that they could be called up at any time, right? It's not in the past. I think if you're redshirting, we would hope they're going and competing and hitting the open tournaments, but maybe they're not mentally preparing to wrestle in a big match or in a dual meet at all, right? So I think it just kind of sets that tone and sends that message that they just got to be ready, and I think our kids are expecting that and looking forward to it.
Two guys we heard a lot about this time last year when they came into Penn State were Shane Van Ness and Alex Facundo. What have you seen from them in terms of growth from this time last year to now?
They're both they're great. I mean, they both looking really good. Starting with Van Ness, I think he just he's a goer, and he just had some nagging injuries that he needed to kind of take care of, and so he didn't get a chance to wrestle as much, but he's really good, and he's a tough kid, so he's going to compete hard, and he's healthy and excited to go, and yeah, Facundo, he got a little bit more, not a little bit, a lot more experience, more matches, but same thing, great kid. Just quality student athletes all across the board, and they're very good wrestlers. So we're excited to watch them compete.
Kind of a two-parter. How big is it for a guy like Roman to return to the program? And on the flip side, when you lose a guy like Nick Lee, how hard is it replacing him?
Well, yeah, I think we're obviously very excited to have Roman back. I think everyone in college wrestling is excited to see him come back. He's just he's a special one, right? The way he competes, and he's improved every year, and I think he's improved, which is hard to say, but even from the last year, he's just always working, always training. So yeah, we're excited to have him back. And yeah, Nick Lee, he did a outstanding job while he was here, right? He two-time national champion. I think, was he a five-time All-American? Freshman year, right? He loses first round of the NCAA tournament, battles back, helps us win one of the more exciting team races that I remember, at least, and just out of guts and determination. So yeah, but he's still in the Inline Wrestling Club. But I don't I don't overthink those things, you know. I mean, you do the best you can when it's your time, and then you move on, right? So, you know, he did his time and had a great experience, and we're grateful that he was here. Now it's time to go pursue that next stage in his life.
Do you think there's a lot of excitement around 2 Jordan Center matches this year?
You know, I don't know. I think they're both exciting matches. I think every match is exciting. You know, I think if we were wrestling them this weekend, or regardless of, it would be. I mean, we're pretty. I would say just consistent. You know, as a coaching staff, we don't get too high or too low. It's just. So yeah, we're excited about them. Haven't thought too much about them. I mean, we're focused on our first match, and really just excited to see our guys compete and see where we're at, and then see what we need to do to improve. But that's just that's what. Well, the best part of my job is just hanging out with a lot of motivated, great quality people, student athletes, coaches. But another part is just competing, and just as we compete, look for ways to improve, and that's the plan, same as it always is.
Two-part for you here.
Yep.
It seems like you guys always go above and beyond to try to get the smaller schools on your guys' schedule. Clarion, you know, I say Lock Haven's smaller because, I mean, they still are, but they're still decent. They've been making a name for themselves in the
Yeah.
past couple of years. But, you know, how important is it for you guys to have those schools come here, or you go there, and then just talk a little bit about Lock Haven for Friday night?
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to get matches, and Lock Haven actually kind of filled in last minute. We had a team that wasn't able to come in for whatever reason, and you know, Coach Moore he's going to compete. He loves to compete, and he stepped up right away. And we know they have a really good team. You know, they've had a very successful dual team, especially recently, very tough. So yeah, we're expecting you know, a great match, and looking forward to competing. We know they're going to come in and compete hard, and they always do. So we got to be ready to roll.
How has the opportunity for name, image, and likeness, we're about a year into that at this point, how has that impacted your program, and how would you say, whether it's with administration changes, or whether it's just with stuff you guys have learned, or maybe it's stuff that Roman might bring to the table since he's obviously very active in that space, how have you all changed or improved or altered the way you attack NIL, and how can it help your program?
I would just say, you know, we're going to compete. You know, we're not going to take a back seat to anybody, and that's in all aspects of our program. We have, you know, with Pat Kraft as AD. I mean, he's you know, we're blessed to have him here. Just his determination and focus, and you know, problem-solving attitude, and just setting a high standard. You know, as far as competition and what's expected. It's been really exciting. But yeah, in whether it's NIL or whatever, you know, we're going to compete. That's our job. That's you know, that's what we do.
Anything else for Cael?
Have you seen anything in the room this year that you know, sort of stands out? I mean, what's the attitude been? They're ready to roll for Friday?
Well, yeah, I think we have the potential of having a very good team, right? It's up to you know, each individual to go out there and do their thing and be themselves and have fun and compete and look to improve, right? I think today, probably more than ever, you know, kids are going to feel more pressure, right, from social media, and a lot of it's self-imposed, right, that they kind of create for themselves. But then you have, you know, this name, image, likeness, and you know, you're getting pulled in a lot of different directions. So, you know, I think, but our kids have a pretty good grasp on those things. Our job as coaches is to take pressure off them, right? Not to add pressure. Pressure usually kind of rolls downhill, right? So, but I think our guys are. It's just a fun group, you know, to train. I mean, they're competitors. I mean, we've seen this in the past. You know, the bigger the match, the better they wrestle, and so just keep doing our thing.
Kind of going back to Pat Kraft, I know when he got hired, he called you the GOAT, and like, he can be here as long as you want. What have the conversations with him kind of been like, just overall?
Like I said, I think we're very blessed, you know, to have Pat. I think he's very unique in in his approach, and I feel like we see things very, very similarly, and it makes my job a lot easier. And you know, we're competing. He's competing, right? He wants to be the best athletic department in the country, right? And doesn't see any reason why we can't. And I think that's awesome. It's inspiring. You know, I was first all staff meeting. I had my pencil and paper out. I was taking notes. Big smile. I loved it. It was awesome. Like we're very very blessed.
What is
We're in good hands.
Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
You mentioned earlier about Gary Steen and how you've
Yep.
seen improvement from him. What is it that you've seen specifically, and what kind of steps have you seen him take from the time he's got here to now? Not just maybe last, you know, however long, but just overall.
Yeah, he's a very good wrestler. I mean, he's had a ton of success up until this point in his career. So yeah, there's no reason why he wouldn't continue that, right? He's got everything he needs. He's a great athlete. He's strong. He's fast. He has the experience. So it's just like anyone on our team. It's just up to him to go take advantage of all that God's blessed him with, and that's a lot, right? He's got a lot to be grateful for. So yeah, he's got a lot of potential. So again, like anybody else, it's up to you. You know, use it, have fun, and go score some points. Cool. All right.
All right.
Yeah, thank you very much.